All right, welcome back to the Viral View channel where we talk all things that have to do with the Amazon Influencer Program to help you work smarter and not harder. This episode is going to be legendary because we have, probably in my opinion, one of the most qualified people to come on the channel. We have Brian, who is not only excelling in the Amazon Influencer Program and has so much to share with us today, but has excelled in so many aspects of business, entrepreneurship, content creation. And also he is from Canada, so I'm excited to unpack the Amazon Influencer Program from a Canadian perspective. And it's going to be amazing. Super excited. So Brian, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, man, appreciate it. Yeah,
So go ahead.
yeah, I'll start off with a little introduction to myself and, you know, why I think the Amazon Influencer Program personally, especially as a Canadian, is probably the best opportunity for somebody that wants to, if you want to call it a side hustle, if you want to call it a business. I've turned this side hustle into a business where I'm only spending quite literally an hour of my time per week. My wife is spending an hour of her time per week, and that's all we really do. But what I've learned as a Canadian is we don't have a lot of opportunity. We don't have access to TikTok Shop, creator or affiliate. We don't have access to a lot of the creator programs. And to give you guys perspective, kind of peeling back a little bit further, I have become an entrepreneur by selling physical products on Amazon. Okay, I started there. You know, we do $5-6 million every single year. I still do that, but what I've wanted to do and more of my vision, my purpose is to help more people. And unfortunately, selling physical products is a hard thing to do nowadays because there's capital required. What has really appealed me to the Amazon Influencer Program in specific is I truly think anybody can do it, and that excites me. But I think there are a lot of people, especially Canadians, that don't want to do it because they don't think they can do it. So I think today I really want to come on here with Cade and kind of unpack that and kind of show you how I'm doing it. I found a way. We were talking just before this. I truly believe that you can do anything as long as there is a willingness to do that and you can achieve anything. And I think the Amazon Influencer Program is one of those things, especially as a Canadian, if you can figure out a route for yourself, and I'll unpack what I do specifically, and it'll work for a lot of people. But if you can figure out a route, this gets you light years ahead of when we will actually get access to the Amazon Influencer Program in Canada. So yeah, I'm excited for it for sure.
Sweet, man. That just got me super stoked. I mean, how I got into the Amazon space as well as I sell products and yeah, I've totally seen that. Like it's great. A little bit more barrier to entry, and Amazon Influencer Program, anyone can do it. And I know I'm going to learn so much from you just on this episode. So let's dive into it. I know you just mentioned like how, like where you started, but I want to dive into like how did you hear about it, and that process of getting started. What did that look like for you?
Yeah, so the Amazon Influencer Program, I actually heard about it last year, was 2025. I heard about it in 2024, and I got my toes wet in it. And this was when like Creator Connections really wasn't a thing, to be transparent with you. So when I felt the time that I was putting in to create reviews without really a process in mind, to be transparent, I really just I just figured it out myself. And I didn't see results to the point where I actually stopped. And I think that's a very common thing in a lot of people that want to start a side hustle, that want to start a business. You see something, you don't get instant gratification. And for that reason, unfortunately, a lot of people give up. And I will say the Amazon Influencer Program back in the day it was a slow burn. But what really started to excite me was when I started seeing you and Trevin talking about Viral View, because I'm a systems guy, I'm a leverage guy. Like if there is something that I can implement that I know can instantly get me an ROI, then I know that this can work. And when I started to see the results that you guys started to post all over social media, I'm like, this is my time to get back into it. I need to figure out a way. And again, the Creator Connections Program isn't available in Canada, but there's a route to do it as a Canadian because we do, and most of my commissions right now is on the USA marketplace. So that's how I kind of got into it. That's a little bit of my journey. I think I wanted to share that because I feel like a lot of people who start the Amazon influencer journey, correct me if I'm wrong here, Kate, but you probably have had a lot of people come through the community that start and stop. But it's
100%.
definitely one of those things. I look at it as like a low risk, high leverage, high ROI thing. If you just understand that there is an end goal in mind, and Viral View is one of those things that gets you to that goal faster.
Awesome. Could not agree more with everything you just said. And I would say, maybe if I had to guess, 90% of people who start have gone through that similar process of starting, not seeing the instant gratification, and maybe stopping or slowing down. Like everyone at some point has slowed down. But then what's fun is like for those who have stopped and then 6 months later, they're like, wait, I'm still making money from this. Or they see like other people, like what is truly possible with it. And it's like you said, the Amazon Influencer Program, it's a long-term game. You don't get that instant gratification, but if you can put in the work today, it's going to be so worth it. And especially, if you leverage systems and tools like Viral View. I mean, we're going to dive into a lot of tips on just on this video, leveraging some of these things. You'll get amazing results. So,
Yeah.
absolutely love that. I love that you bring up, that you're a Canadian. There's certain limitations to it, like not having creator connections in Canada, but you can apply in the US. Let's walk through that because that's something I'm really curious about. A lot of people, I've been in this space for 3 years, have told me like, oh, I can't do it because of this limitation. I can't do it because of this. I can't do it because of this. What would you say to that? Like, what are those limitations? And then what do you say to those people that say, I can't do it because of those limitations?
I think it's a limiting belief. It probably comes from an experience you had in the past. But like I said, I truly think that if there's a will, there's a way. And for Canadians in specific, I found the way that works for me. I will say we don't have the same opportunity as people in America, and I'll be transparent. I'm not trying to sugarcoat anything because I'll walk through the process here, high level. We can dive into each thing in more detail as well.
Yeah.
What I need to do is I need to access creator connections through the Amazon.com platform. Now, what we tried to do at first was try to get people to send product directly into Canada. And I'd say about 10% of people would be willing to do that. As you can imagine, it costs money to get it across the border. There's duties implied. And also it takes longer to get to the destination. And as a seller, again, coming from a seller's perspective, we want ROI fast. So people aren't really willing to entertain that. So we needed to take a step back and figure out what could work. So we explored a couple different options. The first option was we have a friend just across the border. Could we send the product there? Could they send me? What I love about the Amazon Influencer Program is you don't need to actually show your face. So could they send me videos and could I do voiceovers? Or could I, talking about like becoming a business, could I leverage that person to do the actual review videos for me and then give them a cut? Those are the couple things that I thought. I was thinking about my time, right? And then with that, the only downside is you're not always going to find people that are as willing as you are. So the next opportunity for me was actually just committing time to go across the border every single week, right? So what I do, this is my entire process from top to bottom. Once a week, or typically what I do is when I have about $300 to $500 worth of goods sitting at a PO box. Okay, I live in Vancouver, so I have a PO box in Blaine. It's literally, I'm not even kidding you, it's 2 minutes. It's the first light over the border. Yeah, so it makes it super easy for me to go. And transparently, a lot of PO boxes, or at least a lot of border entries, will have PO boxes because of they want to take advantage of the Canadian business, right?
Okay.
So the first light over, I hop over there whenever I have a certain amount of goods. Generally, what I find is if you have about $300 worth to claim, that is an easier conversation to go over the border. So I try to aim for that. If I have more, I'll bring my wife because the more people you have in the car, the more that you can take over.
So
right?
interesting.
Yeah. So what we do is we do, the regular daily messages in terms of creator connections, and then we're just tracking and managing the PO box and just seeing how much goods we have there, and then we'll just decide on if we need to go 2 times a week, every week, sometimes every 2 weeks. Do I need to bring more people? Right? And I'll literally just cross the border and then I'll pick up the goods. I'll be at the PO box, unpackage everything. Everything comes in boxes. I'll unpackage everything. I will accumulate the cost of all the goods because you still need to claim it as somebody, even though it's free product.
Yeah.
You still need to claim the value of the goods. Unfortunately, It's a downside to it. And then from there, I just cross the border. And like to give you perspective, the odd time they might pull you over for duties, but even like you claim $400 worth of goods, you're paying like $30 worth of duties. Like it's still so worth it to be able to get all of these free products
for $400 worth of free product.
Exactly, which a lot of the time, we make a good portion of our income actually reselling a lot of these things as well. Right. And it's huge. So that's kind of like a high level overview of what I do. And yeah, I'll give some tips. I have a Nexus. A Nexus is similar to, what is it called for you guys? It's the Trusted Travelers program.
Okay.
Is that what it's called? Do you know what that
I,
is?
I'm
You may not
I'm
know.
not I'm not familiar with it.
Okay, so as Canadians will know this. A nexus
Okay.
is essentially an interview process that you go through and you become a trusted traveler, which means you have a dedicated lane on the border,
Huh.
right? And what it allows you to do is skip lines. Okay, but if I were to give anybody a tip listening to this that wants to do this, go any day of the week, including the weekends, between 10 to 11. You'll have like no border waits at all. I've tested every single day. You usually have less than 15 minutes. As a Nexus owner, you have less than 5 minutes. So again, I'm trying to save as much time as possible.
Yeah.
Okay. So across the border, and then also with the Nexus, what's nice about it is they're a lot more lenient as well. So, the more that you go, I even know some of the border people because I go there so often and we always have conversations to the point where they don't even ask me about my goods anymore. So you start to build a relationship like that. And again, they're more lenient with the amount of goods that you can bring over. So if I'm just over the $300 mark, or if I'm at 400, they'll typically let me slide nowadays. When I get over 500, usually I'll pay duties. So I'll never get it to a point where I have $500 worth of goods. So with that, unfortunately, I don't get as much high ticket value products. So they're typically smaller and we try to do a bigger volume game. Now, with that
Okay.
being said, that shouldn't limit you. Again, you're not paying that much in terms of the duty. So for that reason, if you do want to play that game where you want to go get a sauna, stuff your car with 4 people so you have the accumulative goods and just go pick up that item. You have the ability to do that, especially when you have the Nexus. So those are some things to consider. That's the time frame that I would go within as well. It works really, really good. And because of this opens up in my opinion, where you can really make good money on the Amazon Influence program. It's the Creator Connections program.
Dude, that like fired me up hearing all of that because I can't tell you how many times I've heard people say like it's not worth it because of this. Even like people that are in the US that say, "Oh, I can't do it because I'm not comfortable in front of camera. I can't do this because I don't have a social media and I can't get approved." Like there's so many, like you said, these limiting beliefs.
Yeah.
And you just listed like so many different barriers and barriers that so many people can relate to. And I think one of the biggest keys to the success in the Amazon Influencer Program is controlling what's in your control and not worrying about what's out of your control. You just listed all of these things of like, okay, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this, but it's like, are you going to let that
Yep.
prevent you from having success? No, like you found ways to work around it. And that is absolutely amazing, super inspiring to hear. Is there any other type of tip or like hack that you have found that has allowed you to overcome different barriers?
Yeah, I think crossing borders is honestly a scary thing. Again, that works for me. I talked about the other methods that you can definitely entertain. So I think because people need to cross the border, talking to the border agent is a scary thing. So I'm just gonna give a couple of tips. Again, these are
Yeah.
small things. I'm a big firm believer of like experimenting, right? So I'll test something to see if it works. And if it works, I'll continue doing it. If it doesn't work, right, I stop doing it. I'm actually reading a
Yeah.
book right now. It's Jeff Bezos's shareholder letter. So it's 14 growth principles. And the first growth principle is something called successful failure. Even if you feel like it's a failure, it's still a success if you can learn something from it. Okay. And there's
Wow.
small little nuances that I've learned having gone over the border very, very frequently, sometimes 2 times a week. Taking off the hat, like literally, I'll take off my hat like this as I'm rolling up to talk to the person. It's almost like putting your guard down, right? It's a small thing.
Yeah.
The second thing is they always ask you to roll down your window, have your back window rolled down. What is that doing? It's setting you up for success. It's allowing you to put your best foot forward, and it makes the conversation so much easier. And it's just one of those things. I think a lot of people in the Amazon influencer space, unfortunately, are scared behind a camera, and that is a lot of the reasons why they will make the excuse that they don't want to do this, right? But it's just one of those things that the more reps that you put in, the better that you get. And the more that I went over the border, the more comfortable that I got, to the point where some of these border people know me. They know my cars. They
Yeah.
always talk to me about my cars and things like that. So again, I think that's a sign or proof, I should even say, that if you just stay consistent with something that is working for you, eventually it'll become second nature and it'll become easy.
Dude, that is amazing. I love those tips and hacks and love that concept of, you call it successful failure.
Yeah, successful failure.
And that's like, I mean, that's just the story of anything in the entrepreneur world is you just keep putting in reps and you make mistakes, you learn from it, keep going. And I mean, that's how I've gotten to where I am in the last 3 years of the Amazon Influencer Program. And what's so cool about the Amazon Influencer Program is, I mean, we're touching heavily right now on the brand deal aspect, but there's so many different forms of income inside of this program. And over the last 3 years, you know, like I've dabbled in a lot of different methods and I figured out what's worked for me. And so I want to address this to the viewer, just because like this is what works for Brian, you know, that might work for you, or you might take that and adjust it according to your needs. You might hear something I say, and that doesn't mean that that's the only right way to do it. There's so many different ways to make money with this program, and it's just that exact process of trying. If it works, you know, double down on it and then keep going. So with that being said, we've touched like on the different hacks for brand deals, but like I mentioned, there's different forms of income apart from just brand deals. A lot of people, like when they're first starting, they're like, oh, it's not worth it because I can't get brand deals. And it's like, yeah, it's easier to get brand deals once you're more established, or it's easier to get brand deals if you're in the US, but there's still workarounds. What would be any hint or hack that you would give outside of the brand deals aspect?
Yeah, that's actually one reason I really love the Amazon Influencer Program is I look at it as at least 4 different income streams. So I define number 1 is your Amazon Influencer commissions. Number 2 is your creator connections commission. So you're typically getting a higher commission rate, right? The other one is brand deals. So I make, luckily I have a seller community. So I make quite a bit on doing product reviews for my student community and people that aren't even like paying me to be in my community. So I have brand deals in terms of anywhere between $20 to $150 I'm making in terms of that as well.
Cool.
I call something, it's called global, I call it global uploads, but it's pretty much uploading your exact review video, not doing anything more, just uploading it to Canada and UK, which also Australia just came up, which is super, super exciting. And then on top of that, this skill that you build as an Amazon reviewer or reviewer works for the associates program. It works for TikTok Shop. So you can do that kind of stuff and evolve into that, you know, uploading your videos to YouTube. You have so much opportunities to make income, 110%, and you shouldn't be limited. And putting it back into the Canadian perspective, because like I'll pull Reezy into the conversation. Reezy makes 90% of his income through creator connections. He can receive 30 products every single day to his doorstep. I don't have that luxury. So one thing that I'm a firm believer of is focusing what I can control. Me and my wife's goal every single week, we're not trying to blow up our income. We're trying to pay our rent. That is our goal. And we're so close to getting there. Our goal is to upload 30 plus review videos every single week. Okay. Sometimes I'll get that just for my career connections. But if I don't, I still focus on the volume game. Like to give you perspective, I was in my gym. I've been here in my apartment for 6 months. I literally was recording review videos in my gym because I've used all these products. I could give an authentic review. That is what I can control. That is in my control, right? The amount of brand deals, if I don't have the output from the front end and reaching out, that's out of my control to a certain extent, right? I can only go so often to make it worth it for me. So in order to still hit that goal on a weekly basis, I'm still focusing on making sure that I not only build my creator connections commissions, but also my Amazon influencer commissions, which is less. But to give you perspective, 40% of my income, my commissions actually come from non-creator connection stuff, which is crazy to think. And it's purely because I'm focusing on volume. I think there's a scarce mindset that a lot of people will say that they've run out of the products in their house, but you can go to your friends, you can go to your families. There's always ways to recreate videos, upload 5 different versions. It's truly endless with what you can do, which is, in my opinion, one of the most exciting things about this program. If there's a will, there's a way. You got to put in the work. Yes, it can be considered a side hustle. I have virtual assistants that do a lot of this work for me now. I only focus on the review aspect and actually filming, and that's all I do now.
Beautifully said. One of my favorite things about this program is you can do however much you want, whenever you want. Like no one's telling you what to do, when to do it. But I also see that as a con because no one's telling you to do it, so it's super easy to get lazy or it. I don't know about you, but for me, sometimes like when I'm not working, I almost feel like a guilt of like I should be making a video right now. But like you said, it's like it's infinite. And someone who says like, oh, I've ran out of products, there's nothing else to do. It's like it's have that mindset shift like you mentioned, and get creative and go find new products. I mean, just this last week, Trev and I were in Europe, and even in Europe, like in our hotel gym, I found products there that were sold on Amazon, and I was able to make videos of them. I know some people who will go on trips just for that purpose, and they'll get an Airbnb, and it's like their entire trip was paid for by Amazon, and then they're in an Airbnb and they have access to all these products and they're making it work. Like, there's infinite possibilities to make money. And I love that you mentioned, like, you're looking at Reezy, you can see that and be inspired of like what is possible, but some people might see that and be like, oh, like I can't do that. Again, I keep revisiting that diminishing belief, limiting belief. But it's like, okay, what's in your control? What can I do? And it's like, even if you can't get brand deals, there's still a huge opportunity of reviewing. Like you said, 40% of your income is coming from non-brand deals. Non-creator connections. So much opportunity there. I can't even remember what I was going to say after.
That's a good point, though. I want to talk on that in regards to even if you don't do creator connections and you're a Canadian, you can still do the Amazon influencer program. You can still do it as long as your products are sold in Amazon.com, which generally speaking, there are more products in Amazon.com from a seller perspective being sold. I sell predominantly in .com because the opportunity is there. So generally, I'd say 95% of the products in your home right now can make you money without you even having to entertain crossing the borders or even having to entertain creator connections. Creator connections is almost like, in my opinion, I also even recommend like start with the products in your house first, get comfortable, and then introduce creator connections. It's almost like a little scale up. It's a level up that you can introduce when you're more bought in to what this can do as a Canadian. I think that's the route to do. I walk people through like a 3-month roadmap, and I try to say, like, especially when you first start, you have so much products in your house, right? You have hundreds of products in your freaking drawer. You have 100 products probably. So I like to say, there's a book called The Slight Edge, and I'm a big firm believer of getting 1% better every single day. A lot of people are not comfortable doing product reviews. So I say do 5 reviews every single day with a goal of filming 30 in a single week. But the principle of doing it daily, sleeping on it, your brain gets more comfortable. The next day you're better. The next day you're better. The next day you're better. Do that for the first 30 days. You will see your income start to grow. It may not be massive, especially if it's not creator connections. It may not be massive, but you see how easy it is. You get bought in and you see the potential. Then your next month, you're better at filming reviews. If you want to start batching things, then start batching it. Batching works good for me because I run so many other businesses on the side. Someone like Reezy, he does stuff every single day. His goal is to pump out like 500 videos a month to show you the potential. He does it full time. I do it part time. So you also have that route to do. And there's a cadence to everything, right? And I think the smaller habits that you can build early on will start to compound. What's really cool about the Amazon Influencer Program is your income starts to snowball. You will literally start seeing your income grow even the days that you don't post anything. And that is special. That's what really gets you bought into wanting to do this more. And then you start creating bigger goals.
Yeah. And you see that snowball effect not only just with the more videos that you're posting, but I love like how you mentioned you get better and better. Like, let's say it takes you an hour to make 5 videos, and then the more comfortable you get, all of a sudden in a month's time, it takes you an hour to do 10 videos. And then let's say in 6 months now, it takes you only an hour to do 20 videos. And it's like, you see that snowball effect with saving time and then also increasing your commissions. Dude, you're dropping absolute fire. I want to just like keep picking your brain. I know we don't got much time left. Is there any like big or just any sort of advice for someone that is just starting, like anything you'd say to someone who's just starting?
If I were to look back on when I first started, I mean, there are two types of people in this world, 2 types of people that would want to build an income on the Amazon Influencer Program. If you're somebody that wants to get an ROI faster, personally, that's me. I would have introduced Viral View right away. That would be the tip that I give. Yes, there's a monthly cost to the subscription, but the ROI that you get instantly pays for itself, okay? Even the first thing that you would do is scan your order history, spend the time on the videos that you would literally make the most money on right away. That'll probably cover your cost. If you're somebody that isn't 100% sold on this, you don't know if this is the route that you want to take, start with my method of doing 5 videos per day within the first 30 days and let it compound. Trust me when I say this, everyone that I get to go through that path, they get bought in, and then they can scale from there. Then they see this as a true opportunity. And it's really cool to see. Like I said at the very beginning of this, I truly think that this program can help every single person on this planet, which is something very bold to say, but it's actually realistic to do.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? Which is so cool because it doesn't cost any money, right? Anybody for the most part can do it. And it's crazy to say that because there's not a lot of opportunities like that. So I think 2026, and again, from a seller perspective, I've seen how the selling platform has evolved. Amazon Influencer Program is scratching the surface. It's getting better month to month, but it's scratching the surface. And again, what you guys do, all the people watching this that are creating reviews to sit on listings, you guys help us. And if you help us, that means we make more money to Amazon and the sellers, and they're going to favor us. They're going to give us way more things. I think it's truly the start of something honestly incredible. So,
dude, yeah, again, couldn't agree more. I mean, me and you both, we've done dozens of different business ventures, investments, side hustles. And I think we can both agree that there's nothing quite like the Amazon Influencer Program where there's no risk, anyone can do it. And it's like, if you put in the work, it's impossible to lose. Like, you will make money. And so I love that piece of advice. It's like, just get started, post 5 videos a day, you'll see what happens. And that's what happened with me. Like, I was super skeptical when I first started, and it's like, I put up videos and then I saw like a week later how much I made, and it wasn't like anything crazy, but it was like enough where it's like, oh, if I 100x my videos, holy crap, this is an insane opportunity. And I also love that you bring up Viral View and just the potential it has to help you not only make more, but save so much time and just streamline your process to make everything so much easier. Brian, you are a wizard, and I will make sure to, for the audience, if you guys need any help, Brian is someone that you can go to, learn so much from. I mean, we learned so much from him just in the quick 20, 30 minutes from this call. But I'll put all of his, what would you say, how can people find you?
You can, I'd say Instagram, the Zab Twins is our main page. And also our YouTube, the same thing, the Zap Twins. I'm actually going to be releasing like almost like a stepping stone to this video as well for specifically Canadians. Cool. I think that's close to my heart personally. I would love to help more Canadians get onto this because, I mean, we've seen it time and time again that people feel resistant in doing it. But yeah, like that's free education, free value that you guys can dive through 100%. And that is my mission. It is to help more people. And that's why I'm so bullish on the Amazon Influencer Program. I said it. I truly think this could help anybody, regardless of your circumstances and your income, how much money you make, how much time you have. All it takes is an hour a day to start. And I think everybody has an hour that they can stop watching Netflix to be able to do this. So
100%. If you are someone who is doing the Amazon Influencer Program, you need to be following Brian, looking to him for guidance. And especially if you are Canadian, like he is the guy to help you out. So again, thank you so much for all the knowledge. Any final thoughts before we wrap up?
The best time to start was yesterday. The next best time is today. I say it on every podcast conversation that I do because I just look back on my beginning of my entrepreneurship journey, and I heard about Amazon in general in 2017, didn't start till 2019. The only regret that I have was not starting sooner. And I truly think that on the Amazon influencer side, you were still at the very beginning of the golden age. If you get in now, you're going to be sitting pretty. So
absolutely amazing. Couldn't agree more. It's like I got into this in 2023, and it's like I'm grateful I got into it when I did, but it's like I wish I got into it even sooner because 100%. It's always I love that. Best time to start was yesterday. So anyways, Brian, thanks so much for coming on. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and make sure to show Brian some love in the comments. Check him out on socials, and we will see you guys next time.
Peace out.